right, we're ready to continue. So up on stage, we now have Richardson's Intermediate Orchestra. Let's give them a round of applause. This group is made up of students that have played for at least 1 year, maybe 2 years in elementary school or in middle school, and they moved on from beginners to intermediate. So they usually play out of book 2, and they also do learn some sheet music that's a little bit more complicated. So for this group, we have one person that's going to come up and talk about the first piece we'll be playing for you.
Hi, I'm Kaylie. I play the violin in Intermediate Orchestra. Our first song is Jingle Bells by Bob Phillips, which is basically Jingle Bells, featuring Zoe Gonzalez Poxy on the bass. This song goes back and forth between the bass and the orchestra. Enjoy it.
Good job. All right, yeah, let's give him another hand. That's actually hard. So a little quick history. So Zoe over there has not been playing bass for us the whole time. She just switched over maybe about a month and a half ago. She started off on viola. By the way, she was first a violin player, and I would not start the class until enough people volunteered to switch over to cello, viola, and bass. But we did have somebody that switched out of bass, so she kind of took over on bass over there, and she did such a good job. I said, hey, let's feature you on a song. So let's give her a hand. She did a good job. So again, this group is a little bit more complicated. A lot of sixth graders in this group, just like in the other group. The difference is the music is faster. So they also have scales. Their first month, they did a scale they did later on. So this is the D major scale. This was their first month test. This is the demonstration. Let's go ahead and show them how you guys did the first scale, which is the D major scale, 1 octave, quarter notes. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, and again, give them a hand. Believe it or not, that was really hard for them that first month. They looked kind of sad. And then when I told them what they had to do the second month, they really freaked out. In intermediate, we don't just do one octave, we do two. So that means they're going to do double the length for the scale so they can learn more notes up and down their instrument. It's more complicated, they have to shift. And on top of that, I made them go even faster. So this is going to be a 2-octave D scale, which is what the advanced kids do. This is a 2-octave D major scale, and it's going to be single 8 notes. Here we go, and I'll give you a speed here. Ready? 1 and 2, and ready, and go, and. Good job. And then, of course, part of the reason you learn scales is so when you learn the music, you learn different sets of possible notes. So the next scale they learned was the G scale, also 2 octaves, and at this point, they're no longer learning 1-octave scales, they're learning 2-octave scales, which, from what my understanding, most kids in the district don't do in middle school. So these guys are already starting to get ahead of everybody else in our district. So this is a G major 2-octave scale. Here we go. This is the 3rd month test that they had. Here we go. 1 and 2, and ready, and go, and. All right. In this class, they also have songs they read out of the book. One of the songs they did was called Speed Waltz. The difficult thing about this one is it's in 3/4 time, which is not a common time. They also have to use a lot of things called slurs, and sometimes they're using C naturals, notes that are not on the little tape marks that they have. So they got to start getting used to shifting their fingers around. So this is one of the first tests they did. This is on month number 2. It's called Speed Waltz. It's a song out of the book. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, ready, set. Good job. Part of the reason I do the demonstrations is one, so you get an idea of what they do every day, and 2, because sometimes they were only able to learn 2 songs. I didn't just want them to perform 2 songs and get off the stage. It gives you more chance to hear what they can do. So the song they did for the 3rd month is called I Don't Know You. This one's a little bit more interesting. It does have a lot of naturals in it, which means they're going to have to move their fingers. This is something that's even complicated for advanced groups in some of the other schools. So again, this one has no changes in it, so it's a little bit more difficult. If they do it right, you won't be able to hear it. Here we go. This is called I Don't Know You. All right. So as you can see, second-year students have it a little bit harder. The music's more complicated, the scales are more complicated. So we have one more piece for these guys to play for you, and I'm going to have our second student come up and announce it.
Kaylie, and I am the bass player and manager for our intermediate orchestra. This will be our last song, Hanukkah, Hanukkah. Hanukkah is a Jewish holiday that starts in November and ends in December. This is a song that is usually sung during Hanukkah. Hope you enjoy, and happy Hanukkah.
Good job. Go ahead and give them another hand as they're going to walk on down. You guys are going to go down that way, down the exit, and you're going to take the spot to the advanced orchestra.